History remembers him as Genghis Khan, the legendary conqueror who carved out the largest contiguous land empire in human history. Born Temujin in 12th century Mongolia, his story is one of ambition, ruthlessness, and unparalleled military prowess. From the steppes of Central Asia to the edges of Europe, his name struck fear into the hearts of his enemies. We often hear of his military genius and the Silk Road flourishing under his Pax Mongolica. But the path to empire is always paved in blood, and Genghis Khan's rise is no different. Behind the romanticized image lies a darker truth, a story of brutal massacres and chilling acts of cruelty. In this series, we uncover the lesser-known, unsettling aspects of Genghis Khan's life and reign. Prepare yourself, because some truths are difficult to confront. The year is 1202. Genghis Khan, having unified the Mongol tribes, sets his sights on the Tatars who had poisoned his father, Yasugei. The ensuing conflict was brutal, a clash of nomadic warriors fueled by vengeance. Genghis Khan's forces fought with terrifying ferocity, ultimately defeating the Tatars. Victory was not enough. He sought to break their spirit. He decreed that every Tatar male tall enough to reach above a wagon wheel was to be executed. Thousands of men and boys were slaughtered, their blood staining the steppe. This was not war, but annihilation, a testament to Genghis Khan's ruthlessness. The massacre sent a clear message. Defiance would be met with unimaginable brutality. This was a force of nature who would stop at nothing to achieve his goals. Fast forward to 1221. Genghis Khan's empire now stretches from the Pacific Ocean to the Caspian Sea. His armies lay siege to the Khwarezmian Empire, with the city of Nishapur in their path. Nishapur, a vibrant center of trade, faced a grim fate. The siege was long and bloody, and during it, Genghis Khan's grandson Tokachi was killed. Consumed by grief and rage, Genghis Khan sought vengeance. When the Mongols breached Nishapur's defenses, they unleashed a massacre. Men, women, children, even animals were put to the sword. Historical accounts speak of pyramids of skulls and rivers choked with the dead. Some estimates claim as many as 1.7 million souls perished. Even if exaggerated, the scale of the carnage is undeniable. Nishapur became a symbol of Genghis Khan's fury. The cost of opposing him was total annihilation. Genghis Khan's path to power wasn't paved solely with the blood of foreign enemies. It was also marked by internal struggles and betrayals. Long before he was Genghis Khan, he was Temujin, fighting to survive. He united Mongol tribes through charisma, cunning, and brute force. But his position was far from secure. Lurking in the shadows was Batur, Temujin's half-brother. Their rivalry was fueled by ambition and jealousy. One incident reveals the brutal lengths Temujin would go to secure his position. During a hunting trip, a dispute erupted, and Temujin killed Batur. He eliminated a rival, a potential threat to his authority. Genghis Khan's ruthlessness was a survival mechanism honed in the unforgiving steppes. In 1227, Genghis Khan breathed his last. The circumstances of his death remained shrouded in mystery. The Mongols were determined to keep the location of their leader's final resting place a secret. They believed disturbing the Khan's slumber would invite misfortune. The funeral procession was a mobile killing field. Anyone crossing their path was killed to ensure the Khan's spirit could travel undisturbed. Once the burial was complete, the soldiers who laid him to rest were also killed. Their knowledge of the tomb's location died with them. To this day, the location of Genghis Khan's tomb remains one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. Genghis Khan's military genius extended to psychological warfare. He used terror as effectively as any sword or siege weapon. Tales of Mongol brutality spread like wildfire, often carried by terrified refugees. These stories were instruments of terror, designed to break the spirit of his enemies. The message was clear: surrender and be spared, resist and face annihilation. The Mongols preferred swift victories to protracted sieges. They offered enemies a choice to avoid horrors. This calculated use of terror allowed Genghis Khan to conquer vast territories with surprisingly little bloodshed. His empire was built on the broken wills of his enemies. Genghis Khan's story is a tapestry woven from threads of brilliance and brutality. He was a military genius who united warring tribes and forged an empire. But his achievements were built on a foundation of ruthlessness and cruelty. It's easy to judge the past by the standards of the present. But to understand Genghis Khan, We must view him through the lens of his time. His legacy is a mixture of progress and destruction, innovation and terror. He opened trade routes and fostered religious tolerance. But these achievements came at a terrible cost.